Hey YouTube land, it's Untitled here doing another action figure review. Now this is something I was hoping to get a review of. I initially didn't pick them up. I didn't pick them up initially because they were quite expensive for what they are. And there was two figures in the set, or two figures in the wave. So basically what this is a homage to the original figure from 1991, I think it is, or 1990. Early 90s anyway. And it is from the G.I. Joe Club. We'll just bring the shine off the card back there. And what it is this guy, which is the Sonic Fighters Viper. Now, I'm not sure if you can see it up in the corner there. It says G.I. Joe Club exclusive. As I said, this was a part of a two-figure wave. So it was this guy, Sonic Fighters Viper, and Sonic Fighters Dodger. I didn't take his base out of the box, but you can see it comes with a Cobra logo base with the two foot pegs and his name on the side. Would have been nicer if they had included Sonic Fighter on it, or Sonic Viper on it, just to make it different to the standard Vipers base, because as far as I know they look identical to the old 25th anniversary versions. So flipping around back on the card back, you have another shot of the artwork on the front. Now the artwork is also a homage to the original. The original Sonic Viper, or Sonic Fighters Viper, had this kind of style card art, except I think he's actually holding the weapon the opposite way around. And you can see it has a file card, so it just says file name various, primary military specialty infantry, secondary military specialty is demolitions, birthplace various countries, and says Cobra Vipers are the frontline battle infantry fighters. If there is a dirty job that requires the use of knock-off imitations of sonic or laser weaponry, each and every one of them should receive the Medal of Villainous Valor with bronze serpent clusters, considering how easy it is for these shoddy copies to self-destruct when fired. They are outfitted with multi-layered body armor and wrap-around acrylic composite helmets, outfitted with built-in RTO radio telecommunications gear. Each trooper is armed with a multi-burst laser pistol, commando submachine guns, 16mm surface-to-surface grenade launcher, and to handle any obstacle they encounter on their assigned missions. Cobra Vipers know that the equipment they're carrying could jam or explode at any minute, and they get a little edgy, especially when hand-to-hand combat is the only safe way to neutralize hostile G.I. Joe forces. They're ready, willing, and able to cause harm and do damage anywhere that Cobra Commander sends them. And then there's a small quote saying, "We'll go barrel to barrel or fist to fist against the G.I. Joe team." So then you got an image of the another smaller image of the artwork again. So onto the figure itself. So he has what they call a grenade launcher, which is actually a mortar. It's the mortar that came with, not rock and roll, what's his name? Short Fuse. The 25th anniversary version of Short Fuse. The original Viper's weapons were all done in the copper and the gold color, and his original grenade launcher, all the weapons were a reuse of existing molds. I can't remember where the original grenade launcher came with. It was a Joe weapon, I believe, and I can't remember which Joe it originally came with. He comes with a gold version of the Iron Grenadier rifle. It's like the big, large, almost Uzi-like gun. I'm not too up on the gun, so it's the same mold as the one that came with Iron Grenadiers. You also get one of these guns, which does look like a modified Mac 10. You see the big kind of blocky stuff in the barrel. It looks like they added on this piece. This is actually a weapon from one of the Renegades figures. It was originally released in the Pursuit of Cobra line. I think most of the Renegade style figures came out. So it was one of the figures. I'm not sure which one. I think it could have been with Tunnel Rat, or it could have come with the Trooper. And then you also get this gold rifle. Get it to zoom in on it. And this has come with a couple of various guys. I can't remember who originated with, but it's a kind of just a light machine gun. And then it comes with the standard backpack, which is already attached. It just goes in on a peg, and you got the figure itself. So before I go on about the figure, I just want to bring in his predecessor. So here is the original Sonic Viper, and the gimmick with these guys is they had these large backpacks with buttons. Unfortunately, the batteries on mine are gone. So, and he also came with, as I said, gold weapons. Now, he came with a gold version of this gun. I think it's Hit and Runs. It's based off Hit and Run's gun. So, instead of giving us a Hit and Run style gun, the club opted to go with this one, which is supposed to be a representation of this gun for some reason. Even though there is Hit and Run figures, they could have taken the mold from the modern ones. And then you got this gold pistol, which doesn't really fit the hands too great, and it is a recolor of the gun that came with Shock Blast, or Shockwave, whichever way you would call them. But now the gold on this guy has been repainted, so it might look different to what you're used to. So the backpacks, unlike the Talking Commander figures, the backpacks were actually still on a peg system. Whereas for the Talking Commanders, like the Cobra Commander one, they actually screwed the backpacks in place. But there is the Viper in all his glory. His helmet has been repainted a few times. Now, I do know that on mine, when I first got him, this back piece, it wasn't painted red. But when the club decided to do them, they painted a kind of back piece on them red for some reason. The helmet on these ones are based on the second version of the modern figures, which had the chrome plate. So essentially what this figure is this figure just repainted. This is the Pursuit of Cobra, if I recall, Pursuit of Cobra line. They released kind of more modernized versions of some of the classic figures. They did a 25th anniversary Viper, which looked more like the original, but then they released these guys, which had better articulation and a bit more kind of a combat ready look to them. And they had these basically chrome plated helmets, which were Cobra Commander's heads with these helmet parts glued on top of them. So it's quite a nice rendition. Articulation wise, he has all the standard articulation as a G.I. Joe, so his arms can go up that much, rotate all around, single jointed elbow. He has a wrist swivel with a hinge. He has an ab crunch, nothing in the waist. He has forward and back that much on the legs, dual jointed knees. He swivel in the ankle and a hinge in the ankle, and 2 peg holes for the stand. His web gear is removable, but I don't want to remove it because it can be a bit of a pain to get back on. And his backpack is removable. So all in all, he's quite a nice figure. As I said, I waited to get this guy. Essentially all he is a repaint of an existing figure. So I didn't think I think initially there were what, €90 or $90 for both figures. I didn't think nearly 45 figure was kind of acceptable for a figure that was 15 quid way back in the day. I know it's a exclusive, but even as a repaint, it's not super great. I mainly got him because this was back in the day when I was collecting Joes as a kid. This was the only Viper figure I ever had. I never had the original Viper, so, and I remember picking this guy up at retail with my gran when she was still alive, and we were up in the city, and we were going through a shopping center that had like a toy store in it. We went into the toy store and they had this guy, practically all the Sonic Fighters, and if I remember correctly, they even had the Action Master figures from Transformers. So it was like, it was either get Joe or get one of the Transformers, and I ended up getting Sonic Fighters Viper because I liked the look of the gold on him, and I thought he was pretty cool. He looked like a kind of interesting desert trooper, even though he's supposed to be just designed as a regular Viper. I always liked the look of him. Always reminded me of sort of, as I said, a desert style Viper. Again, we didn't have. I don't remember seeing him on shelves over here. He was released over here, the Desert Scorpion, but I don't ever remember seeing one on shelves. So I ended up getting this guy as a counterpart to like Desert Troopers, which is kind of cool. So that's the main reason why I got the Sonic Fighter, the club version of the Sonic Fighter Viper, as a nostalgia goggles basically were on. He's a great figure. I do recommend picking him up at the moment, because if they still have him in stock in the Joe Club store, they are going through a wind down with all the old figures, or all the figures that they are selling off. So I think they're at 60% off now at the moment. So if you're, at the time of this recording, I think they're still available on the website. And if you were a previous member of the club, they really let it open for people to order stuff from them. So it's a pretty good time to pick up some of those figures. I do intend to get one or two of the other figures as well, and I hopefully will review the Dodger figure which came with this. So the wave was Sonic Fighters Viper and Sonic Fighters Dodger. I never had the original Dodger. All I know he was one of the Battle Force 2000 or 2000 Battle Force 2000, and they were just a couple of guys got repainted for Sonic Fighters. Dodger was repainted, and I think one of the other guys got a repaint as well. So there you go, guys. Hopefully I didn't waffle on too long, and as I say in my videos, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers.